All right, we're back in the kitchen today. Looks like we've got about 1.5 pounds chicken already chopped up, oiled, and in the pan and ready to go. Got a red onion. Today's menu, we're going to be making a Tuscan surprise. Because I guess you really kind of think off the cuff what you're going to put into it. This one's going to have red onion, a white, no, not a white, but a yellow and green zucchini. It'll also have some spinach, and it'll have some what are those, sun-dried tomatoes in it. We're also going to have some garlic butter seasoning, and again, some chicken. So right now we're just chopping up the onion into nice long slivers. Oh yeah, we're going to add heavy cream, and we're also going to be having Asiago cheese in it to kind of make it a pasta style. So for this dish, I like having long pieces of onion, and I'm just kind of browning the chicken right now, getting it mostly what you will cook through. Now I am going to be adding the ingredients before the chicken is all the way cooked. I know some people don't want to do that. They just want to make sure all of the chicken is cooked through. But considering how long this dish is going to be cooking for, I don't really have a problem for it. Plus the juices from the chicken will help cook it and steam it, and also help bring these vegetables to get a nice translucid feel to them. One thing I hate about cooking is not having my vegetables cooked thoroughly or enough, and it just taken away from the dish altogether. So I also like to have the chicken pieces a little smaller than what you normally would, because I like to think of each bite having the proper amount of each ingredient to kind of give it a buffet of flavor, if you will. So I'm going to be using this whole onion. It's quite the hefty onion. Doing some more chippy chop of it up and it in. You know, when I was doing this, it sure seemed like I had a lot of onion. And honestly, it is a lot of onion. But if you're an onion fan, there's no such thing as too much onion. Oh, and this onion, dude, I was having such a hard time chopping that second half as the tears were really starting to roll in. It was a pungent onion. So yeah, there's that. So now I'm gonna do me some yellow zucchini. As soon as I get the cutting board and area a little bit cleaned up. Waiting for it. Alright, here we go. Back to the chippy chop. Cutting off the ends, nice move. And we're gonna have it. Yes, sir. A nice little half. Half it again into quarters. And then we'll chippy chop that up. It's been a long time since I've done vegetables like professionally chip chop. So my method isn't like it used to be. But we still get her done. Just adding all of those delicious vegetables while that chicken continues to cook, and marinate the other vegetables in oil and the seasonings that I got in there. One thing you didn't see in the very beginning when I was doing the chicken is I put about a tablespoon of garlic in there to add deliciousness flavoring. So as you can see, we're already sitting with that chicken in there for quite a while cooking as we continue to chop our vegetables. It's one of my favorite dishes. Oftentimes I'll add pine nuts to it and some bacon, but I was trying to go for more of like a vegetarian style. You can definitely add bacon and pine nuts, which adds je ne sais quoi to it for sure. And yeah, you can also add like a pasta, some noodles or some rice or some quinoa or something to kind of like put this over top of. But personally, I like this just by itself. Here we are cleaning up our space. Good move on that. Looks like we've got most of the ingredients in. While I was filming this, I accidentally had my camera and light fall off. Luckily, nothing broke, but that's one of the hazards of cooking in the kitchen with your camera. The other thing I really don't like using my camera in the kitchen for is the grease. Grease is everywhere, and grease is just, nah. When I worked in the kitchen, the professional kitchens, it was terrible. Air fryers, not air fryers, but just fryers in general, they're just gross. I remember feeling the grease. I remember when I used to be a fry cook, I felt like a banana at the end of the day. I just peeled my clothes off from this greasy mess, and then the grease just seeps into your clothes, and you just smell like a fryer. I don't miss that. I like sauteing. I used to be the saute cook at a couple restaurants, and it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, just finishing up the green zucchini. Got quite a few vegetables in there. Doing another cleanup of the prep area. And we're back with the cutting board. I think we're just about done with the ingredients. Yep, now I'm going to add the... Oh, nope, we're going to do mushrooms. Forgot those mushrooms. I like mushrooms in a lot of different things. Some people aren't mushroom people. Some people are. I really like, just a side note, mushrooms, butter, and garlic. Those are always a great dish. Whether you put them in on steak or in eggs or chicken. All these vegetables actually are very universal on different dishes. So this dish is going to be a meal prep though for the week. That's going to. I ate lunch today off of it, and then I have 5 portions of it at 10 ounces each for the week. So that'll be a nice snack along with my protein shakes. So yeah, here again I'm removing the stems and working with that. Again, the stems, I don't know. Some people use them. Some people cook them in there. I do not. I think they have a weird texture, and they're just awkward. So we don't put those in there. So, yeah, otherwise this dish could serve like, I don't know, if I got 5 days out of it, you could probably feed 4 people with leftovers or seconds. Another thing that you can add to this dish if you didn't want to do chicken is white beans. That's really good protein, a really good substitute for something different and having a variety of flavor. I don't know, the beans give it an interesting texture, but I dig it. So I guess when you're cooking for yourself, that's really all that matters. And as long as it tastes good. Oh, another ingredient that we're going to be adding here is artichoke hearts. I really didn't know how to eat artichoke hearts or what you did with them. I remember going to a fancy restaurant once and ordering them and not knowing how to eat the artichokes. But now that I've worked in a kitchen and played around with them and have done different dishes with them, one of my favorite dishes to have them on is a pizza. Really like doing the thin Mediterranean pizza and adding like sun-dried tomatoes and spinach with a white sauce like Alfredo and garlic. And as you can see here again, in real time, that dish has been on the pan on high. And we're just cooking along and cooking down the vegetables and cooking the chicken the rest of the way through. So, here again, I feel as though that everything gets cooked through thoroughly. And there isn't a problem whether the chicken got done or not. Some people, I don't know, want to debate that. I guess it just depends on how long you're cooking things for. Oh, there's the sun-dried tomatoes that I'm adding. So, those are great in a lot of different dishes. I really do like making a pink sauce with those. Like, I guess half Alfredo and half like of a tomato base pasta, and it comes out pink. So we're almost done, I believe, with the chippy chop of the different ingredients, and we'll be moving over to the main saute portion of it. So we'll do that, and we're adding some more of that garlic butter seasoning. Can't go wrong with garlic butter seasoning. It's one of my favorite go-to ingredients when I'm cooking in the kitchen. Alright, so now we're on to the full-on thing. of different vegetables starting to come together. You see all that steam coming off of it. It's hot. It's definitely cooking through. Keep moving around, or as I have said, we're jostling the meat around, or jostling the vegetables around, and making a happy little dish here. So now we're going to add some spinach here in a few seconds, as we let this just kind of cook down and do its thing. Oh yeah, doing the artichokes. Now I like to break them down into littler pieces. Otherwise, you're just going to get a big chunk of artichoke heart. So again, these ones, I just buy a big jar. Really, this is a cool dish because everything I buy, the whole thing goes in there. So there's not like random leftovers or a half a jar of this or half a bag of this. It's just all in there, all in, all day long. And who doesn't like a refrigerator of half tubs of stuff? The only thing I did have a little bit left over was the heavy cream that we use to make the Alfredo type sauce. And that's understandable. I don't like to have it super runny. I like to have it like a real thick consistency where all of the vegetables and chicken get thoroughly coated and it kind of sticks to them, if you will. So there's that. And then it's just pretty much, on autopilot from here. Kind of just keep turning it and tossing it, getting all those vegetables cooked through and nice and done. So now we'll add, I believe we're going to add the spinach next. We're going to let it cook some more. Oh, there it is, the spinach. Spinach time. So here again, the whole thing of spinach goes right on in. And it's, it seems like it's a little overwhelming, all of that in there. But spinach cooks down pretty quick, pretty good, and just adds nice color. It adds a nice flavor. It adds a nice texture. And all around, it just gives a nice additive to all of it. And that being said, this is going to be my lunch for the next week. So all of my cooking is now done for the main course, so to speak. As you can see, that steam coming through that spinach and wilting it down into the rest of the other ingredients. So we're just about nearing the end of this. Again, this is a quick dish, for someone that doesn't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, but wants to make something fairly healthy and delicious. This is a quick, fun dish, except for like all the chopping of the vegetables, but nothing too complicated, nothing too in depth, and you get to use it all, so there's no waste. I think the chicken breast I got for like $6, and everything else was between $2 and $4. So I would say I spent like $15 on this meal for the week. So a couple bucks a day. Now you can see how fast that spinach got cooked down into it. Just looking good. Now you can add other vegetables too. Another really good vegetable to add to this, a different rendition, I like to add leeks to it. And I find that gives it a lot of deliciousness. Some other things that you can add is you can add some pepper. Cracked black pepper into it if you want to add that. That always gives it a nice round out kind of a heat to it, so to speak. I don't use cracked black pepper in a whole lot of dishes, but when I do, I definitely go to town with it. A little bit, a pinch of salt, in this dish. Not necessary, but it does give it a little bit more of a kick. Again, I'm just trying to keep this dish as healthy as I can to help lose weight and not eat a whole bunch of garbage or preservatives or dyes, if what you will. So now that it's just about all the way, well actually it's probably all the way cooked through at this point, but it's even going to get more cooked through when we start adding the heavy cream and starting to condense that down, and then we melt the cheese. So here we go with the heavy cream. on its own merit. Heavy cream, I like to boil it or saute it until it becomes thicker again to give it that consistency where it wants to hold on to each of the pieces of vegetables and chicken, what you will, of the pan. So let that stir, let that happen, and let that condense and be beautiful and delicious. We're just about ready to add the cheese. Add a little bit of cheese at first, and then I pour in the rest, and that's dinner or lunch. Really whatever I'm having in the moment. Nice bubbles. Working with cream, you can overcook cream and you can break it, which is no fun, and a lot of bechamels and a lot of other sauces, once you break it, you can't go back. A lot of people fake it with our butter sauces. A lot of people fake it by bringing it back together with cornstarch, but it's never the same. So that pretty much wraps up this dish on making a nice quick dinner or for meal prepping for the week. Whatever way you go with it, you just definitely can't go wrong with it. So I'm glad you tuned in to this edition of Cooking with the Artist Abstract. This is a lot of fun. This is a really fun dish to make, and I hope you guys try it out. So just to recap, it was an onion, some chicken, it was some artichoke hearts, sun-dried tomatoes, mushrooms, heavy whipping cream, it was Asiago cheese, and some different seasonings. And now we just turn off the heat and keep jostling it around till she's all done. Oh my gosh, it jumped out of the pan. And yeah, so there it is. Again, thank you for tuning in. Next time, I have no idea what we're going to be cooking, but I'm sure it'll be something fun. I've been thinking about doing my special grilled cheese sandwich. My 5 cheese grilled cheese sandwich. I think that'd be a fun sandwich to do. Maybe a tomato bisque soup on the fly. Another quick fun meal. So tune in, so don't miss that. And I want to say thank you for being here. And talk to you next time. And happy cooking.